Hey guys, welcome to CrossFit Palm Beach. My name's Coach Andrew. This is Coach Zach. Today we're going to be talking about perfecting the push-up. All right, the push-up is something that's such a common movement. Pretty much everyone has done it if they've done some kind of exercise. And even though it's like a simple movement to the eye, it's a very difficult movement for some, especially to do correctly. So we're going to give you guys some things to look at and to think about that you can really dial in to perfect your push-ups today. So we're going to watch Zach. He's going to show us a good push-up. First thing to getting a good push-up is to have a good plank position. All right, so Zach's going to go into a plank position. He's going to have his hands directly under his shoulders. Right, we see a lot of times hands get out in front, and Zach's going to keep his hands in an appropriate position, stacked underneath the shoulders. Okay, and then I have this PVC pipe to show his body position. All right, we should see the shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles in line as one straight line at the top, okay? And that's gonna maintain as Zach lowers into his push-up. So go ahead and do a push-up, Zach. All right, his body stays in line. He's gonna hit his chest to the ground and push back up. All right, and if I keep the PVC under, his hips should not hit that PVC pipe. So his chest lightly hits the ground, but the PVC pipe has just a little bit of space, all right? So that's an ideal push-up. Some of the big mistakes that we see, one of the big ones is the neck position, okay? So when we have this position, in any lift or any movement, we want to have our neck neutral with the rest of our spine. What tends to happen is people get tired, they tend to reach their neck down to the ground as trying to kind of get strength. So this would be an improper push-up where we're reaching that neck to the ground, and what happens is your head hits before your chest. So that's just an easy way to know if you're doing that correctly, is if you feel like you're all the way to the bottom, but your chest is not touching the ground, but your face is. Your head should be up and back so you have enough space to hit your chest to the ground. Okay. Another common one is the position of the hands. So we like them just outside the shoulders, like I said, stacked underneath the shoulders. If you get them too far out in front or you get them too wide, all right, it's going to make this much more difficult, okay, out here. So it's very hard to now do a proper push-up that way. If we get the hands back into proper position, watch the position of the elbows, how they slide back almost along his rib cage. He has a little bit of space here, but his elbows are nice and relaxed along the side of his body, okay? So the elbows are not flared out, but they're not squeezed in. They're just nice and relaxed, very similar to what you would do on a bench press, okay? Another thing I've been seeing recently, we talked about as you go down to the ground, that the hips want to be off the ground, but some people leave them too high. So the hips stay too high off the ground as you lower, okay, and you kind of have this pike position. So if I were to keep this straight line here and Zach keeps his hips up, go ahead and do another one, you can see how he breaks that straight line. So it's really important that the butt is squeezed, the hips are open, that it all moves as one unit on the way down. Okay, and then we're going to take that to a couple scaled variations. All the principles stay the same. So one thing that we do scale with is a knee push-up, but we do like other variations better, and I'll show you why. So if Zach does a good knee push-up, he's pretty good at his body awareness, so he's good at keeping this straight line here through his body. But what happens a lot is some people will shoot the butt back, okay, and they kind of break at the hips. And it's really hard to have that awareness now because now your knees are bent, your hips are bent. It's hard to feel it, whereas most people feel comfortable in a plank position. They kind of feel where those hips are. So what we like to do instead, it's a little bit easier to feel, is the banded push-up and the box push-up. For the banded push-up, it's the exact same. You're just going to throw the band under your rib cage or under your upper abs there, your upper stomach. Okay, and then you're going to go into your same push-up position and nothing changes. You go all the way to the ground, chest hits the ground, and you push back up. Okay, and the band's providing assistance. The one thing that's nice about the band is that most people struggle at the lowest part of the push-up, and the band's at its most stretch point, so it's going to give you the most assistance out of the bottom, and it will help you less at the top where most people don't need as much assistance. So you can use different size bands. We tend to encourage people to stay on the lighter side with those bands, and if they need to scale further, they can go to the box, and that's going to be our final scale. Show that box push-up. So with the box push-up, you can put this against a wall too, especially if you have like a good amount of weight like Zach to push against it. but your hands are going to be about that same distance. You're going to create that same plank position, and now you're just doing it at an angle, so it's going to make it a little bit easier. You're not working against gravity quite as much, so you're just going to feel lighter and easier. You could do this at home against a couch. You could do it against a wall or something like that, like a half wall, but this is a great way to do push-ups or work towards a real push-up if you've never gotten them before. The key with this though is you still want to feel your chest hit that box. You don't want to only go partially there, and you're better off getting more of an angle, standing more upright to do that full range of motion. So whenever you're doing movements, whether it's a push-up, a squat, a pull-up, prioritize that full range of motion first, and that's going to get you strong, it's going to keep you safe, and it's going to get you to those real push-ups eventually.